Hey guys, if you are new here, my name is Candy. I'm a mom to 5. I homeschool my kids and they're home 3 meals a day, obviously. But in these videos, I like to share what we eat for dinner as a family of 7. Normally, I share one every Saturday. I haven't shared one in, I think, 3 weeks because I have been trying to kind of use more basic meals so that we're using less ingredients, less food, having to go to the store less, but I am going to share 7 meals that we've eaten in the last few weeks. And in these meals, I'm using mostly things that are in the freezer or in the pantry. So maybe they'll give you some ideas or inspiration or thoughts on things you can throw together for your family during the way things are right now, or just if you're trying to save money or save yourself from having to go to the store. One of these meals is a leftover makeover made from some leftover macaroni and some leftover pizza ingredients. And also, one of our meals was the chili, and it is actually, we ate it one night, and then we ate it a couple days later, and then I froze it into small containers, and I'll talk about all that when I'm making the chili later in the video and explain why I made so much and all that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, I would appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any more videos, and what else? I'd like to chat in the comments if you'd like to chat in the comments because we're all stuck at home, right? Okay guys, so for meal number 1, I am melting about 3/4 of a stick of butter in a pan, and then I have 2 boxes of pierogies that I'm going to put in here, and I'm also going to chop up 2 smoked sausages and add a bag of frozen chopped spinach. This is something that's really versatile. I mean, you could easily eat them plain, or you can add basically whatever you have on hand. I have done this with ham. I've done it with leftover bacon that was in the fridge. And I've also, instead of doing spinach, I've done zucchini. I've also done bell peppers and onions, or I've done sliced mushrooms and onions. So all I'm doing here is just browning both sides of each pierogi in the butter, and then I'm adding the smoked sausages and the spinach and just letting it cook until everything is hot, and then serving it up. It's that easy, and like I said, my kids love it. It's really filling, and it's really versatile, and it's also really, really an affordable meal. I try to always have at least 2 boxes of these in the freezer for a quick dinner, like before church, or if life is just chaotic, it's just something I can pull out and make in like 10 minutes. Another good thing about this meal is that it is literally a one-pot meal. There's no mixing bowls or anything to wash, just that one pan. So that in itself makes it worth making for me because I do dishes constantly. Meal number 2, I'm going to make a great big pot of chili. I have 5 pounds of ground beef here. I got this pretty reasonably priced, so I went ahead and bought it, even though it is definitely not the leanest meat. It has a ton of fat on it, and it will have to be drained. But again, I'm using what we have, and what we have is the 7327 beef, so that's what I'm going to use. I had about a pound of pre-cooked kidney beans in a bag in the freezer, so I just threw those in the crock pot, as well as a can of black beans, a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. I have had times where I didn't have tomato sauce in my pantry, and I literally used V8 to make chili, and nobody even knew. So, I mean, again, use what you have. I'm adding a can of rotel now, and then I'm also going to add 12 tablespoons of chili seasoning because 5 pounds of meat. My husband likes to use the pre-made seasoning like this. I like to just make it from scratch, but we have a whole container of that from Sam's Club, and I don't want to use up all my chili powder and stuff that I might want to use later to make tacos and things. So I went ahead and used the McCormick's brand chili seasoning. I have drained the ground beef and I've added it to my liquid mixture, and I'm just going to stir it around, and then I'm going to let it cook on low for about 9 hours, and by the time dinner comes around, it will actually have a lot more liquid to it. It won't be as thick, and it'll be ready to eat. I very rarely end up adding water to the chili because it seems like as it cooks, it just produces more and more liquid. I will have recipes in the description box for the pierogies for this chili, as well as a sweet cornbread recipe, just in case you're interested in trying any of them out. And again, don't be afraid to substitute things because, I mean, sometimes you just can't get to the store, can't get things that you need. So I'm making now a 13 by 9 pan of sweet cornbread to go with the chili. After we eat chili tonight, we are going to eat it one other night this week. And then I'm going to save the leftover cornbread to make some cornbread stuffing at another point in time. And I'm also going to freeze up small containers of chili, and I will use those later. So like if we have Frito chili pies, if we have chili dogs, if we have chili cheese fries, what have you, I will just pull out a small package of chili out of the freezer instead of buying a can of pre-made chili, just again to save money, and also because in my opinion it tastes better than buying a can of chili. So Miss Penny is helping me make the cornbread. I pre-measured all the ingredients. She's putting them all in the mixer for me, and she is turning it on and throwing cornbread everywhere. And we are getting this made up, getting it in the oven. The chili has been cooking all day, so it is pretty much time to eat as soon as her cornbread is ready. Sometimes I'll add a couple tablespoons of honey to the cornbread on top of adding the sugar to sweeten it, just to kind of give it like a little extra flavor. Sometimes I don't. Like, I'm making this one with the intention that we will turn part of it into cornbread later. Or not cornbread, cornbread stuffing later. So I didn't add the honey to it because, I don't know, I think it might taste weird as stuffing. Here is the finished cornbread. And I have jalapenos, mustard, sour cream, ketchup, and I also need to get the onions out of the fridge, but this is dinner tonight. Here is the chili, and it filled almost the whole 12-quart crock pot by the time it cooked all day and created its own juices. I love having chili in the freezer to pull out on busy nights or just when we've been sick or what have you, to be able to just reheat in the crock pot and not have to go through all the work of making it. So I try to always make a big batch of chili when I make it. This is Miss Maddie's plate, and then this is mine. I like mustard in my chili. My husband says I'm a weirdo. Anyways, moving on to our next meal. Pizza pockets, calzones, they are all a really, really cheap way to feed a crowd. I'm making 2 batches of pizza dough, and I will share a recipe in the description box below for that. I have also dug through my freezer and my pantry, pulled out different ingredients for everybody to make their own personal pizza or calzone. Now, if you want to keep this super cheap, you could just do sauce and cheese. I happen to have the Canadian bacon and the pepperoni in the freezer. I had a can of pineapple. I had a can of olives. So, I mean, I kind of gave everybody free range options on what they want on their pizzas or calzones. But I have done it where it is just sauce and cheese because it just saves money and they're happy. They love cheese pizza, so you can't go wrong with that. This is James's. He has a bunch of jalapenos in his. He likes his super hot and, to me, inedible, whatever. Too spicy to eat. Okay, so our next meal, I dug a package of pork steaks out of the freezer, and I just poured some of this booty rub over the top of all of them, and I'm just going to throw them on the smoker. Easy enough. We have been in the yard all day and riding the four-wheeler and playing in dirt, and I've not had to watch dinner, so this is dinner tonight. Easy, easy, easy. The kids all had some mandarin oranges with theirs, but James and I just had a baked potato on the side. They had mac and cheese. It was just, like I said, quick dinner because saved myself the time of like cooking a huge meal. So our next meal, I'm doing a leftover makeover, using the rest of the mac and cheese, using the rest of the pizza toppings. So I have my mac and cheese slightly warmed up in a bowl, and I have my pan sprayed with oil. I'm going to take this pizza sauce, mushrooms and olives that were left over, mix it all together, put it in the pan, put cheese and pepperoni on top, and then bake it at 275 until it's just melted and warm all the way through. It was so late the night that we made this because we just had a lot going on and we were gone all day, and it was like 9:30 at night and we were just eating dinner. So I didn't film this the best, but my kids loved it. They called it PIZZARONI, and there was none of this left when they got done eating. Because, I mean, they barely left any for me and James. They were wiping this out, and they said I should make this all the time, not just with leftovers. Okay, so for the next recipe, I am making some bread from a recipe I got from Large Family Loves YouTube channel. I will link her video in the description box if you want to try making her sweet bread. It is delicious. We've made it 3 or 4 times now, and I think it is a favorite for the kids and I, and even James ate it, and he's really picky about bread. I took 2 partial packages of smoked sausages, one with cheddar, one's just smoked sausages, out of the freezer to thaw, and I also just got these out of the pantry, 2 jambalaya mixes, and I'm just keeping dinner, again, simple tonight. Life is stressful enough right now without having to put a lot of thought into dinner. While the jambalaya is cooking, I'm warming up some frozen broccoli because Miss Maddie wanted broccoli, and then Penny wanted carrots, so I also took out 2 cans of carrots out of the pantry, put about 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of honey in it, and I'm just going to let those simmer until the jambalaya is ready, as well as the broccoli. For the jambalaya, it's literally add water, add the rice, add the smoked sausage, boil it. So, like I said, easy dinner. The bread was delicious. The kids wiped out all the carrots and the broccoli, and I didn't get any of either one, and James wanted sliced cheese on the side. Okay, so for our next meal, I'm going to throw these leg quarters on the smoker. There is only 4, but after they are cooked, I'm going to cut them up, and then there will be, 4 legs, 4 thighs. So I think that'll be enough to feed everybody dinner tonight. I just seasoned these with some salt, some pepper, and put some balsamic vinegar and some Worcestershire sauce on them. After cooking a couple hours, we just basted them with some barbecue sauces.
Am I able to do that one too?
Yep, go for it. Just gonna try you don't hit your hands on nothing.
I know what I'm doing.
Of course you know what you're doing. You're a cooking boy. All right, go ahead and do the last one.
And you glove it really good.
All right, that's good. Let's let it finish cooking. Actually, Bubba did 2 with the honey barbecue, Sweet Baby Ray's, and we did 2 with the Carolina. Here they are cooked and ready to be cut apart and served for dinner tonight. They were so good. I never usually put balsamic vinegar on the chicken when I put it on the smoker, but it's something I will definitely do again. To go with it, we had baked potatoes, and then I also made a box of mac and cheese, and we made 2 pounds of veggies. The kids wiped those out and every bit of it, and then all of them made themselves a baked sweet potato with butter and cinnamon because they were apparently still starving to death. I hope that you enjoyed seeing these meals and that they will inspire you to use things that you have in your freezer or your pantry to come up with new meals while you may not be able to get what you need or what you want at the store. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.